All right, welcome back, my dear student. In this lecture here, we're going to create a little link right here that is going to be deleting these records from the orders table inside our database. All right, so we're going to do this in a pretty quick way. So first, I don't like this report name here, so let's just call it, this is in the thank you.php page. We're going to change the name of this report function here, and we're going to say process transaction. You can name it whatever you want. It's good to have the same name as me, since sometimes you guys have problems and I can debug your application if you give it to me. All right, so process transaction would be the right name for it. There we go. All right, perfect. All right, so we got to go to that function that is actually displaying the orders, and right here let's create and this is in functions.php. Let's create a little link here, and I'm gonna make this link look pretty. What do you think? All right, let's do that. Let's create a class real quick, named btn, and then another class btm danger, just to make it red. And then inside the anchor tag, we're gonna put a spam tag. Spam. Okay, closer, of course. And then inside the span tag, we want to create a class, and we're gonna call this glyphicon. And then we'll do the same thing again, glyphicon hyphen remove. Remember that? That's what we did in the checkout. All right, let's check it out. Let's see if that looks okay. Enter. We got a little button right here. Beautiful. Now the next thing we do need is to set this href to a function or a page where it's going to have that functionality, right? Oops. Go back to functions. There we go. So href. All right, so this page, we got to think about it. Where do we want this page to be? Well, we want this page to be in the back folder right here. But we are in functions, so we need to go back a couple times. All right, so we go back, and then we go back again, another folder, and then we go to resources, and then templates, and then back. And then here we could say delete order.php, and that's a page that we are going to be creating. So make sure that you have your path correct here. All right, so basically when we click on this link right there, all right, we are going to be going from orders to the delete. Actually, we are in functions. All right, my path might be wrong. All right, but we'll check it out in a minute. I think we're good. We're good. We could just go to the delete. No, I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I got this mental block again, but I think I'm right. Anyway, let's go ahead and and check this out. All right. The best way to check is just to try it. Click it, and now it takes me to resources, templates, back, and delete. All right. So I'm good. Right. We are good. All right. Now another thing is that we also need the ID, right? So ID. That's how we're gonna know how to delete this. We're gonna delete that specific record that we are clicking on, right? That specific item or product or order. So that's how we are going to be doing that. Let's go back here, refresh, put our mouse over, and we can see that the ID reflects right here in the bottom of the screen. There we go. Beautiful. Now we need to create that page, all right? So let's go to orders, and let's do a save as and say delete orders or order.php. All right, we're gonna take all this out. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is put our PHP tags here. Then the require once, and then we need to go back a couple times again to find a config. So we go back one folder because we are in delete. We go back to back, and then to templates, All right, let's go back another time and then find config. That's it. We're good to go there. All right, so you can double check on that if you want. If you get an error, then you know you're in the wrong place. Click on it. If you get a blank screen, you're good to go. If you don't, then you have a problem. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's check to see if we get an ID from the get request. All right, and if we do, we process this information. If we don't, then we redirect the user back to orders. All right. The reason why we want to include config is because we're going to use a couple of functions here that we made already just to make things easier for us. Oops. Create that. Let's create the query. Let's use the query function that we got, and we're going to say, you know what, we want to delete. This is an SQL statement, of course. Some of you already know this, some of you don't. Delete everything from orders. Well, not everything. Delete from orders where actually this is going to delete everything. Order ID equals what? Let's concatenate this and let's just keep it. I think this is good right here. Let's escape it with the function that we got. That's why we want to bring that. I think it's string. We'll find out in a minute if it is. If it's not, then we're in trouble, right? We'll escape it first because it's going to inside our database. We'll confirm it. Make sure that no SQL, we don't have SQL problems. All right, and once we do that, then we can redirect back that user to. All right, we need to go back a couple folders here because we got to redirect them back to index. So we got to go back 1 folder, 2 folders, 3 folders. 1, 2, 3, and 4 actually, right? Let's do public and admin index.php, and then we got to send in a parameter there, because if we don't, then the way we build this application, we don't send a get request, we can't get anywhere here. So orders, there we go. All right, so if for some reason we don't gotta get an ID here, we can redirect back to that same place. All right, let's go back here. Let's try this out. Enter. There we go. You see that change? That means that we deleted that record. We can keep doing that over and over again, and we can send a message here also when we delete it. So we could, before we do that, we could use a function that we created, a helper function, set message, and we could say order deleted. All right, and let's go to orders real quick, and we can display that message somewhere here. So orders, let's display it right here with an H, I don't know, 3, and let's just say PHP, I believe it was message. We haven't used that in a while. All right, so let's check it out real quick. Oops. I think it was display message. Display message. All right, click on it, and we're not seeing. Oh, there we go. Order deleted. I was just expecting that red background that we usually put in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Class BG danger. Let's do that background. Oh, we can do success because we were able to delete something, right? There we go. Order deleted. And you can center this if you like. All right, we can refresh this and that disappears because it gets on set. So order deleted, and we can even do a function that will when we click it, if we don't change anything here, then it will give us something saying like no record was deleted or no change, or we could not delete it, something like that. That could be in the extra feature section. All right, so we could go to our database and delete all this and delete it faster, but I already have it here. Why not delete it? Right. So anyway, we're doing a pretty good improvement here. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, right? Anyway, one thing that you might want to do is that you might want to name each of this, take out this header for each of these pages, all right, and name it something else if you want. Like right now, everything is getting included in this index, in the admin, this header. Let's see. That's actually, let's go to item, admin, and then index. As you can see, everything here, this header here, we could take that off and put this header somewhere else. So that way we can just have this like this. I think that looks a lot better. All right. Of course, we got to fix admin. We got to give the admin content that here. Let's do it right here. There we go. Enter. And now we got it. All right. So that just looks a lot better there. Perfect. All right. This thing is starting to look better here. All right. And I'm just gonna delete all this so that way we have, actually we're not gonna have, we have the wrong one, but we'll actually create some more orders later. I'm gonna create some more order as you won't be able to see me, but you could go ahead and create some more orders so you can have some orders here if you want. And then we'll work on the reports page on the next lectures. Take care, my friends, and I hope you're having fun with this course.